for tonight, she's going to live code a simple app using Apollo, Prism, all that kind of good stuff that I know nothing about, but I am very excited to see. So, recording.
Okay, cool.
Go for it. Thank you.
Okay, so hi everyone. Like you said, my name is Sarah. I work for LD, and if you want a job, we got you. And so I'm gonna, like he said, I'm gonna live code GraphQL. And if you wonder what my theme is, it's called Night Owl, and it's on aka.ms/Night Owl, and my font is Dank. It's also Dank, but the name is actually Dank. Okay, but yeah. So done. Talk done. All the questions have been answered. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is live code a GraphQL backend and frontend. For the backend, I'm gonna use Prisma. And you're asking, why are you doing this? Because I have really low self-esteem and I apparently hate myself. But that's a whole new talk. And I'm gonna live code something. So I'm gonna first show you what Prism is. Wait. Yes, I don't know. Okay, so Prisma is a open source GraphQL, or I'm like this doesn't mean anything. Okay, so what Prisma is basically it creates a Docker image that you can deploy and works as a GraphQL server. It's really easy to use locally, and you can also use it on Prisma because it's a service. They want your money, but that's not the point. You can also use it for free and just deploy it anywhere that supports Docker Compose, or you can use it here and build it completely static, and they handle all your deployments and stuff. I am also going to use React and Apollo GraphQL, which is the amazing people that gave me this t-shirt. If the page loads. Is it? No? Okay, so Apollo is a front-end thing for React that does GraphQL things. Yay! GraphQL over REST. Apollo. Cool. Okay. So this is the three things that I'm going to talk about. And show of hands, who has used GraphQL? Phil, you don't count.
I don't count.
No. Too old for this audience, Phil. Okay, who has used GraphQL over in... Okay, cool. Who doesn't know what GraphQL... Okay, this is gonna be horrible for the people who raise their hands, so I'm just gonna go with... Who knows what GraphQL is? Okay, cool. So, I'm gonna try and explain it very briefly. So, GraphQL basically is a query language for the server. So when you have, for example, an API, and you want to get all the posts, and it's going to give you like all of the stuff. Like it's going to give you the title, the content, the author, the date, all of the stuff that you don't really give a fuck about. And it's going to blow up your entire front end with all that stuff. Then you have to do a lot of reduces and maps and array stuff to fix that stuff, and that is pain. So what GraphQL does is basically there's this layer which I think mostly is written in Node. You can use it with Java or whatever you want, but most people use it with Node. That allows you to be like, okay, out of the posts, I just want the title. And you just get the title. And you can do all the maps and the reduces and the weird stuff in the Node part. Most people use it as an abstraction layer for their API. So basically, you get your REST API, and then you pipe it to GraphQL, and then you get a beautiful GraphQL front end. And you can also just build it in the front end. Okay, so I'm going to use create React app because I'm lazy. And I also have the documentation open because I'm not insane. I'm not going to remember all of this. So I'm going to go create React app. And in here, no? Okay, cool. Okay, cool. This is a nice start. Create React app. It's going to create a new React app. Most of the stuff is already like, no? Okay. So most of the stuff is not. So it's going to install all the stuff, and since I'm going to start with the backend, I can already do this. So I'm going to create a directory called server, and I'm going to cd into that server. And to install Prisma, you need to run npm i-g Prisma. If I can type Prisma, and that's about it. Also, you need to run it with sudo if you don't understand how things work like I do. This doesn't work. So, Prisma init will start you a new server, and you can decide on a bunch of stuff that I'll go over which one of these means. So use an existing database. This means that basically they know that you have a database here on your computer, and they're like, do you wanna like use it? And you can also create a new database using Docker. And oh yeah, you need Docker. And you can also, like, if you have a login on Prisma, you can demo server, or you can use another like endpoint that you already have. And so I'm going to create a new database, and I'm going to use Postgres because MySQL doesn't work on my computer. Okay, cool. So what it tells you is start your Prisma server. And this tells to run this, and I just clicked the wrong link. So I'm going to open this up in code. And here in the server, we have a data model.graphql, and this is the thing that I want to change. So I want to call this Attendees. Is this properly written, Phil? Attendees?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, English is hard. So basically there's attendees, you're gonna have an ID, a name, an age, because this is not the UK, and I can ask people for their ages. It's great. You should try it.
You actually need to. Yeah.
God damn it, Phil!
My spelling's good, my eyesight's good.
Oh, okay, cool. Cool, okay. And it's also gonna have a location, which is a string. And it's gonna have an age, which is an int. Okay, awesome. Is this all you need to do? Yes. So now I'm just gonna run this. So docker compose -d. What the -d does is basically, shut the fuck up. So it just does this, and it says it's up to date. I'm gonna run Prisma deploy. You already have nodes for this model. You have to change. Oh, okay. I know what this means. Wait. You have to deploy it the first time. Don't be a dick. I gotta force it for some reason. I don't know why this is. Okay, Prisma deploy force. Do it. Go. There we go. Okay, now I got this, and now I need to. I screwed up in some way. So attendee and ID name, and then we're gonna have a location, which is a string. And we're gonna have an age, which is an int, and it's mandatory. And now Prisma deploy force. Yay, we have localhost. You're like, okay, cool, yay, okay. Playground, cool shit. It's not like I practiced this. I'm gonna just close these tabs. Okay, cool. This one doesn't. Okay, there we go. Okay, so to test that this works, I'm gonna create a mutation, and the mutation is. It's going to create an attendee. And as you can see here, like it creates auto documentation, which is very, very nice because everyone hates creating documentation because it's a pain in the butt. And in here, we have to pass it the data. So you can see there's a data, and the data is the, you don't need to pass the ID. Okay. So the name, location, and the age. The ones that don't have the, they're, how do you call this though? The exclamation point, which is a literal translation to what I just said, are not mandatory. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so I need to pass it a name. And I'm going to pass it my name. In these things, you have to use double quotes. You can't use single quotes. You'll complain and cry and not work. So I am 26, and my location is Porto. Wow. Okay. And out of this, I can actually tell him what I want. And I just want to get the name of the attendee that I just created. And if I run this, it created an attendee, and my name's Sarah. Not something that I didn't know. But now I can query attendees and get whatever I want. So I want a name, let's say it. And you get all the attendees. I can create another one. So Rafa, I have no idea how old you are, but it's gonna stay 26.
Sure.
Cool. Is that good for you? Okay, cool. So we have 2 people. Yay. Cool. We have a backend. Yay. So now the hard part starts. So now let me copy the thing from here. So let's install Apollo Boost, GraphQL, and React Apollo. So yarn. There we go. So let's install these 3 things, and let's start the server with yarn start. npm run start. Command failed. Okay, cool. Command not found. Oh yeah, I'm in the wrong file. Okay. Folders. Folders make sense. Okay, cool. So we got a thing. We may have a thing. We have a thing? We have a thing! Yay! Cool. Talk done. No? Okay, cool. Okay, so first thing that we actually need to do is come to the index and actually remove the service worker because they're a pain in the butt. And after that, we gotta pump in the Apollo package thing. Okay, so from this we need Apollo Boost. So what Apollo Boost is, if you never used Apollo, they did a version 1 which had like 1 package, and then they did a version 2 which had like 10 packages. And I actually had a thing here. Wait, can I do this? So snippets, one of them is just like installing all the packages that Apollo required. Yeah, that was a thing. So they created Apollo Boost, which 3 packages now. Okay, so GraphQL is GraphQL, and React Apollo is the thing that we use to communicate with GraphQL using React. You can use other things. Yay. I don't judge. Except Angular 1, don't use Angular 1. I feel that. Nailed it. Okay, so import Apollo client from Apollo Boost, Apollo provider from React Apollo, and that's about it. So I need to change this. So let me copy this over here and change the URI. And now we just need to wrap all of this in the Apollo provider. So Apollo provider, and close the Apollo provider. And we're going to pass it a client. I don't know why I'm speaking like this. So the client is the client. Yeah, that was hard. Yay. Okay. So nothing, absolutely nothing happened. Okay. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Yeah, GraphQL is pretty sweet. But we have an Apollo tab now. Because it's installed. Because I'm a god. Okay, so let's make things happen. Cool. Okay. So we have this app. And this app just has this, and the first thing that I'm gonna do is just create a new file, and I'm gonna call it attendees.js, and I'm gonna import React from React. Nope. Yes, React from React, and I'm gonna export default and just export a thing with this backwards. There we go. Export an H1 that says sup. And close this H1, and then instead of having this, I am just gonna call it that thing, so we don't get a lot of stuff in here. So attendees, and close this, and import. Oh my God, VS Code is amazing. Okay, so VS Code can do that. That's cool. And now if I reload the page, it says that nothing was returned from the renderer.
Because you used curly braces.
Because I used curly braces.
Instead, because you need to either return the other one. JS.
Why did I use curly braces? That is dumb. Okay, and I gotta remove this. That's like, okay, sup guys, So what do we need to do? We need to get all the stuff from the server and put it back in our page. Okay, so we need 2 things from this. We need GQL, which is the query language for GraphQL. I don't know why it's called GQL. I don't work for Apollo. So const GQL, and we need to import this from Apollo Boost. What? No, it's GQL. No, it's like the thing that you gotta use. Oh, you can't. Oh, okay.
No, it's GQL, GraphQL.
Oh, yeah. But still, I don't know. Why you gotta eat all the syllables? Okay. And now I gotta import the query component that we use to make queries. So query from React Apollo. And cool, yay. Okay, so what we actually want to return here is the actual query component. The query component is what we do to get stuff from the server. We have a query component, and we have a mutation and a subscription. I'm not going to get into subscriptions because I never actually got into subscriptions in general, so I don't know. But there is also a mutation component which we use to change things on the server. This is what we use to get things from the server. Amazing. Okay, query. And let me open and close this. And in here, what this does, it actually, the child of this is a function. So we need to pass it in a function and return something. So I'm just going to return something like in H1 again. H1 saying, well, that's an H2, that works too. Okay, cool. So we have this, and this is probably going to give me an error. And that's the point. Exactly. Because the thing is, we need to pass it an actual query for it to run. So let's get this query that I actually already created in here. And all we need to do is wrap it on GQL. So const query? I don't know. I don't know why I always write it in uppercase. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing or no one cares. No one cares. So location and age. Okay, cool. Do you need this? No, you don't, because Pretty already takes them off. Cool. Okay, so we got this, and now we need to pass the query as the query prop in here. And now this function gets 3 things, okay? Bear with me. So this function gets the data that we actually get from the server. So I'm gonna deconstruct this and get the data from the server. We also get the error, and we also get the loading state. So what we want to do in here is check, basically, if it's loading, show a message. If there's an error, show a different message, or show the same message. It's your life. If there's data, give me the things. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is say if error, and I'm just going to return oh no. Oh no. There we go. And if loading, just want to return chill. I don't think this is an acronym, so I'm just going to write down. Maybe this is an acronym. Return, I got your things. I got the drugs. Imagine that's drugs, okay? Do you need drugs to imagine that's... never mind. You got the drugs. Okay, cool. So now if I refresh the page, you can see like for a second there, it's loading. But the problem is since it's on localhost, I can't really... Yeah, he's got the drugs. So now if I fuck this one up, if I reload the page, it gives me an error. It says, oh no, which is very, very concise. But this is the actual error, which you can show here. But, well, ain't nobody got time for that. Okay, so the data, what we get from the data, I can actually check it out. So let me go back in here and reload the page. And then in the network, this is going to go to a GraphQL API, which is not this one. Is it? Nope. Localhost. Yeah. So in the data, which I will make bigger, and can I zoom in here? Oh my god, you can zoom everywhere. Get out. You get the attendees. Okay, so we can deconstruct this even more to get the attendees. So the data, we're going to get the attendees from it. And then we're just going to map all over them, because in the end, all apps are just a list that you map shit to. So I am going to actually return attendees.map, and for each of them, I am going to get an attendee. Since I can't type, I'm just going to do it like this, because it's easier. And for each attendee, I am going to return an LI. And in this LI, I'm just going to put the name of the attendee, so attendee.name. And I'm going to close this LI. And I forgot a UL here. Nope. Yeah. Nope. Yes. Yes. Nope. Yes. Nailed it. Oh, we need a key because React. So key is equal to shit. Not equal to shit. It's equal to attendee.id. If I reload the page, we get two things. Yay. Okay. Cool, no one is impressed. I'm sorry, okay? Sorry, Mom. So I'm gonna create a button here that's just for deleting purposes. That's not gonna do anything. So button, delete. I don't even sure we're gonna have time to get the delete button, but we got a button, so that's about it. No, Spark, don't. This is my email client, my secrets. Okay, there we go, cool. Okay, so now let's create a form to actually add people, which is kind of important in stuff like this. Stuff like I don't know what that accent was. So, form, that chance. Just gonna put this all in here, and in here I'm gonna close this, and I'm gonna just input the form. VS Code. You have shamed me. Form. Okay, cool. I don't need this page anymore. I never actually needed this. Let's create shit. Let's create stuff. Okay, so let's delete all of this. I don't know why I copied it over, but let's do it. So we have a mutation instead of a query. We need a mutation. And in here, I am gonna do a form. So you're just gonna watch me type forms. Yeah, that's cool. So form, close the form. I promise I'll copy over the inputs. So input, is this an input? Yeah. Okay, type name and placeholder equals your name, son, and yeah. And this has to be a class. Sorry about that. So this is a component because we need them states and stuff. So export default class extends component component. There we go. And this does this, and then I render this, and wait, that's it. No, that's not it. Export default. Wait, what? Export default class extends component. I also need this in here. And need to close this, and this needs this, and no. What is wrong, dude? There we go. Camel casing. Yeah, why is it always camel casing? So state is equal to a name that is this, and we also have what did I fuck up anything? Did I? Probably. Location. Okay, and in here, basically what I want to do is on change, I want to like get the event and just set the state of that thing to the whatever you just fucking typed here. So that set state. Whoop. Yeah, there we go. And I'm just gonna pass it the whole state. So that's state, and then I'm gonna pass it like the name is equal to e.target.value. I don't know if anyone is actually learning anything from this. That's about it. Okay, cool. Input type name. Yeah, that's a thing. Input type text. Okay, so now it's age. Input. There we go. And now it's location. Input type text, that is correct. And this is location. And we got your location, son. So we got a form. Do we? Yay, we forgot a submit button again. Wait, did I tried this at home and I honestly forgot the submit button at home as well. I keep forgetting that things need buttons. Type equals submit, what the fuck. And go. Go. Done? Did it go? It totally went. Let me do this and push this over here. There we go. Okay, cool. So now we need the mutation. So let's come on the form, and we want to run this mutation when you submit the form. And all the variables that we have, basically all the variables that we have. Let me put this as required. Yeah, talking and writing is not easy. Okay, all the variables that we have are on the state, so we just gotta pass it basically the whole state. Okay, so this is the mutation. And now, let's get the mutation from the thing. Shut up. There we go. Nope, that's not it. Is this it? Yep, this is it. So the mutation is called create attendee. But we need variables to it. So the thing is, you need to pass the variables here at the top. So you gotta call the mutation with a name. You can also not give it a name, but since you only have to do things at the top, why wouldn't you give it a name? That's the main thing. And this needs a name. And basically in here, you pass it with this. Remember jQuery? Hashtag, remember? No? No one remembers jQuery. That was cool. I like jQuery. So same thing for age, which is an int. And this is mandatory. This is what the exclamation point means. And we have location, which is not the way you type location, which is a string. There we go. This is actually how I code on my daily basis. That's why I work alone at home. Name. Yeah, you think it's funny, but it's not. And location. Okay, cool. So this is what we need, and basically we're getting it here and passing it here. And all of the things, we need to get all of the things. English, ID, and location, and age. And I fucked up, and there we go. Okay, cool. Mutation component. Is the website still working? Yes. You're welcome. Okay, mutation. Focus. I'm gonna close this. I don't know who's laughing, but thank you. Okay, so it's basically a function as well. So what I'm gonna do in here is that this one actually only gets one argument, and the argument is the name of the function that you need to call to actually create the stuff. And this function is called create attendees, and this will return all of the things that are in here. So you don't actually need no ifs. No ifs needed. So on the form submit, so on submit, I don't know why I scrolled all that. That was dumb. I could have just typed. Okay, you get the event target, and the first thing that you need to do is, so e.target.prevent default. No, e.prevent default. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, VS Code. And I'm gonna console.log this state, so that you can see that we got all the stuff. Oh, come on. You may use GraphQL tag because I didn't pass it a mutation. That's cool. So mutation equals mutation. Cool. Are you done? Yes. Cool. And if I click go, did I alert it? Or did I oh my god, it worked. Okay, cool. We got stuff in the console. Yay. Yay, that's something. Okay, so we actually need to call this function if we want to do something about our lives. Okay, so create attendee, and in here, we need to pass it the variables. So variables, nope. Is it like this? Okay, let me check the docs. I don't want to screw this one up. Yep, it's like this. Okay, cool. So there we go. Variables. And basically in the variables, what we want to do is pass this dot state. We can just like, we can pass it like name equals this dot state dot name and do all the things for all the stuff, but we can just like spread the butter, this dot state, and you will say like name equals this dot state dot name. There we go. That's about it. Let's hope to God that this works. Create attendee is not defined. Wait, what? Oh, okay. That wasn't so bad. Okay, so your name, Phil. Phil, yeah, you can say those things. What?
18.
I knew it. Oh, 80. Oh, okay, it's better. Did you say 18 or 80? I'm gonna put 800 because I'm gonna click go, and you have an error on the console. So age expected value int, but got 18 as a string. Did this ever happen to anyone? Because I actually prepared this one. So the thing is, this happened at home as well. When there's an input type number, it still actually sends shit over as a string. Why? So yeah, I gotta do this. So it's just age equals parse int of this dot state dot age and pass it a radix. So yes, Link doesn't complain, and you also don't get weird errors. Okay, there we go. Okay, so Phil is 80 and lives in London. And what, dude? Age value int but got 80.
I think it's just not liking the value of 80.
No. I don't know why, but I don't think that's it. I think I know what it is. I think I screwed up the thing here. Yeah, it was overriding it, Phil. You're still 80. You're still gonna die. Oh no, there's no C in your name. Oh no. 80 and London. And if I actually type go now, nothing happens. But if I reload the page, you get 2 Phils. Because I did it twice. Nailed it. Okay, but you know what would be so super duper things? Be if we actually like created a thing and updated it automatically. So there's a way to do that. And this one I am mostly gonna actually copy from here and explain what it does, because it's actually it's code that if you read it doesn't make a shit ton of sense. So I'm just gonna copy it and put it in here and explain what this is. So this gets the cache and the data. And the data, let me just change that for create attendee. So all the add to do's thing is create attendee, and this is attendees. This is not okay. Attendees, there we go. Okay, nailed it. Did I? No. Oop, oop. Okay, cool. Okay, what does this do? So Apollo has a cache. Whoa, I know. So Apollo has a cache, and what we're doing right here is basically we are querying that cache that already has all the attendees, because it doesn't just delete the cache after you've used it. So if you just say cache.read query and you pass it the query that we used, so just this, you will get you all of the attendees that you already have. And yeah, that's it. So and then you want to write to the, you want to write to the cache with basically the data that you just got. So what this does is basically on the data of the cache, you say attendees.concat and create attendee. The reason we're using concat instead of push is because concat creates a new array and push just pushes into the array. And maybe I'm saying bullshit and it's the other way around. But it's like splice and slice. No one really knows. And that's about it. Yeah. This cache actually returns all of the data. So when you see a cache.read query, it returns data and then attendees inside of it. That's why we're deconstructing it. And now if I reload the page, I bet you to God it's not going to work. Okay, anyone's name? No? Anyone's name? Louis? Okay, Louis. You are 18.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I mistyped it and said 19. You can... Yay! So that totally worked! How the fuck did that work? Cool, but now that we got this, we can actually create a delete thing, which is actually pretty easy. So I am gonna go with mutation. So this one, I am not gonna explain the whole bunch of stuff. And, okay, so the mutation is... just gonna get copying and pasting shit all over the place. So, and this just gets an ID, and ID which, oh god damn it, typing is hard. It's an ID that is mandatory, and now I gotta come here on a sec, and go to the schema, because it's okay to go to the schema. And yeah, that's it. So this is where. So in here, it passes a where and ID, which is equal to ID to delete one. There we go. And we really only need the ID of the thing that we just deleted. And the name of the thing is, go back on this. How do you go back? Oh, it's just, you just scroll. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. Done. Smart human being. Cool. Glad that we got that sorted out. Mutation. And let me just close this and this. Oh, yeah. Things are big now. Okay, so mutation is equal to mutation, and we want to run on click. So on click, we want to actually run the function that we get, which is, let me go here, and it's delete attendee. So delete attendee, and we want to run this function like this. So delete attendee, and we want to pass it the ID, which is equal to attendee.id, because we're already like mapping all over this stuff. And in here, we want to get all the attendees anyway. So yeah, and this is delete attendee now. Delete attendee. So we want to get all the attendees anyway, and instead of concatenating, we want to do the opposite. So we want to get attendees. There's no opposite to concatenating, but it's filter that I mean. So filter, and nailed it. And we get an attendee, and we want to return all attendees in which the ID is different from the ID that we just received from the create function. So ID. Does that make sense? No? Well. Okay. Okay, so basically what we're doing that is different is that we're reading from the query, and then instead of concatenating it, we're just saying, okay, cool. You got this shit. That's cool. And now return all the stuff in which the ID is different than the ID of the person that they just tried to delete. And we get that ID from here, and that's because we're mapping all over the attendees, basically. I know this looks huge, but it's also because the screen is not very good. It's not that big when you have like a decent resolution, I promise. It's still, yeah, but yeah, well. So I'm gonna delete one of the fills, and obviously it's not gonna work because I got null. Cool. What? Did I write attendee wrong again? I probably did. Attendee.id. No, I didn't. Oh, yeah, sorry. Variables. Okay. Keep forgetting about this part. Because you can pass all this stuff in there. So I'm going to delete fill, and I deleted fill. You can't call this is not a thing. I'm just going to delete that too. Because I don't know what the fuck that is. But okay, cool. And so let's just do one last thing. Because if you create a person, it's just like, it craps all over your face and just leaves this. Okay, so I'm just going to create, that was almost a word. And I'm going to create it, and it's just like, you know what I mean. All the stuff is in the form. That's not cool. And yeah, that's not cool. So what we want to do is basically set the value of this, all of these inputs to be equal to the state. So value, I know, VS Code magic. This, that state, Thanos. This, that state, that, no shit, it's different for each one. Okay, so this is age, and this is location. And this by itself doesn't really do anything. So what you're like, okay, so we need to clear all of the things after we create the attendee. So this is actually a promise that we can hook up to. So if I just turn this function into an async function, which is basically like I can chain it then or create a promise around it, but async just makes it easier. And if I await this, all the code that is after this will only be run after that function is done. So in here, I want to say this.set state, and I want to just basically reset all the things. Let me come here and just copy over the things and paste it in here. And now, if I try to do the same thing and click go, it deletes all the things. And yeah, that was about it. You made a thing. I made a thing. We made it. Kind of worked. Did it work? Okay, that was it. So that's yeah. We made a thing. I'm gonna push all of this to GitHub. It's not because I'm proud of it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Create. You don't have to look at me doing it. You can.
Right. So everyone, thanks so much. I recorded a video and audio I don't know if that's gonna make it an actual video I can post online.
Oh, I gotta stop the
I
video.
will eventually. Oh yeah, you're recording. Were you recording? Maybe there's no video.
Oh no, it's here, it's here.
You should have a stop sign on the menu bar.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, I do.